Hello, good morning. It's Thursday the 7th of July and I'm Sam from So Let's Sparkle with Sam. And I am feeling so much better this week. I've still got left with a bit of a growly voice, so do apologise for that. But apart from that, I feel absolutely fine. So hopefully that has gone, whatever it was, has disappeared and left. So Sewing Bee. We had the final and we had our worthy winner, Annie. And as I said to you last week, I made a prize because we had a sweepstake and the prize has been sent off because, funnily enough, spookily enough, one of my Facebook followers is also called Annie and she won. So that was nice. And I sent that off to her at the beginning of the week and she sent me a lovely text message back saying that it had arrived and she was delighted with her prize. So that was great. So I don't think I'm spoiling it for anybody by now. If you haven't watched Sewing Bee Final by now, you're probably not too much of a fan. So the winner was Annie. I actually really agreed with that result because although she wasn't necessarily my favourite to win, she had definitely made the most progress throughout the programme. And I think really that's what the show is all about, is from the start to the end of the show, she had shown us the most amount of progress. So I think she was definitely a very worthy winner. So that was Sewing Bee last week. Now this week, I've still been taking it a little bit easy. I'm not quite 100%, so I'm not on full pelt just yet. But I have been doing a few bits and pieces. I've done the doggy bandana tutorial, which you should be able to see. So if you don't subscribe to me, if you subscribe and like this page, you will be able to see all of the tutorials that I pop on my channel. And that's quite a nice one because it's a really simple one that you don't need very much fabric. You don't need very many materials at all, really, apart from some sewing thread and a square of material. That's all you really need. And it's great for if you want to make them for summer fairs or Christmas presents for people with dogs. They're just really easy and quick to make. So that tutorial went up this week. The next tutorial that's going to go up later today is the face wipe tutorial because after last week when I said that I was making my face wipes, I got lots of people asking me, oh, how do you make those? They're really, really simple, but I've just done a really quick tutorial on how to make them. And I've also added how to make a little box to keep them in. So, and that's this one here. Well, in fact, the one I'm making the tutorial is this one. So it's just a little box and you can keep your 4-inch face wipes and they've got little tags on which makes them easy to pull out of the box. So so that will be on later today. Technology, you know me and technology. It might be on today, it might be on tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be on today. So that's the other tutorial that I've been doing for you. I've also been doing my always knitting and sewing knit it stitch it club tutorials, which are top secret, so I can't tell you, but those have been done this week as well, so they'll be sent off, so you'll get some new content if you are a knit it stitch it member very, very soon. And the other thing that I've been doing this week is I follow a Facebook site called the Fat Quarter Club. Oh, yeah, Fat Quarter makes. And they put a challenge on every month and they link it to a YouTube tutorial. And it's a challenge that you can make apparently out of fat quarters. Now, when I first joined, I found it really interesting because I was a beginner and it was kind of, oh, you know, you've always got fat quarters hanging around. And they had some really interesting challenges and I definitely found them a challenge as a beginner. As I've gone on, I found them a little bit frustrating because not because I manage the challenge every time, but that's because I am a bit more of an experienced sewer. But I find them frustrating because I think, oh, if I was trying this as a beginner, this is a bit frustrating because the YouTube videos that they choose tend to be the ones with music and no talking. And I find if you're a beginner, you need someone to kind of like gently stroke you through these things. So what I like to do is I always like to do the fat quarter challenge, and then I'll post the challenge, and then if I can help at all on it, then I like to do that, because I think one of the things that frustrates me the most about sewing tutorials and sewing challenges is the fact that they don't always cater for beginners, and they expect people to just know quite a lot. Now obviously some of my tutorials do expect you to know a little bit, but the knit it stitch it tutorials I try as best I can to do from an absolute beginner's perspective. And one of the things that I used to find really frustrating as a beginner is wasting material. So if you're going to do a challenge and it says, oh, you can use a fat quarter, and then you go through all of it and you actually realise that you can't get it out of a fat quarter, that's really frustrating, because then you've just wasted that. So this month's fat quarter challenge for July is to make these travel pods, and they're great. They're like shoe bag pods, fantastic. But you can't make it out of, if you follow the tutorial exactly, you can't make it out of a fat quarter. Well, you could, if you had 4 fat quarters, you could make it, you know, you could make this side one material, that side another material, and then the lining would be 2 different materials. But out of a fat quarter bundle, you don't normally have 2 fabrics that are the same. So I don't think it's in the spirit of, you know, what a fat quarter is, because a fat quarter normally just comes as one design, and then in a bundle you might get 4 or 5 or 10 different designs, but you don't get 2 fabrics the same. So I have moved this around a bit, jigged it, and actually you can get it out of a fat quarter. And this is, I wear a size 7 shoe. This fits my shoe perfectly. In fact, with a little bit of room, because it's a very, very clever design how it's pleated, so you get lots of bits in it. So if anyone's interested in that, I'm gonna do a little tutorial on that as well, just how you make it out of a fat quarter and the little kind of tweaks and stuff that you can do. So that was one of the challenges that I made for myself this month. Because although I love the site, I absolutely adore the site, I think it's really great, I just find it a little bit frustrating that when it says, and particularly the channel is, you know, the group page is called Fat Quarter, you should be able to get it out of fat quarters. So that's my little rant over and done with. So yeah, so that's one of my challenges that I've done. The other thing that I've been doing a little bit of shopping. So I thought I'd show you my shop this month from Always Knitting and Sewing, which is a sewing shop in Chorley that I support. Now the great thing about Always Knitting and Sewing is that when you get a parcel, you always get a little something extra inside, and it normally involves something sweet, and it also involves just a random bit of fabric. So in my parcel this week I got this lovely floral fabric, and I think it might be I think it's a fat quarter actually, fat quarter piece. So yeah, so that'll come really handy come Christmas when I'm making lots of little floral makeup bags for people, so that's always nice. I also, when you buy buttons, you get them in a little sweetie bag, so it feels like, and these are just little heart-shaped buttons. Let me open these up for you and show you, because I don't know if you watched last week when I showed you my little fabric felt brooches. These are little heart-shaped buttons. And I seem to have lots of rounds and lots of stars, but I'm out of hearts, so I've just got a few more hearts for my brooches. And then some new, this is cotton poplin, so it's ever so reasonably priced. At first I thought it was a feather. When I first saw it I thought it was a feather, but if you look more closely it's actually a palm leaf. And I'll just show you the back. And I'm right in the window here, so as you can see, it is cotton poplin, but it'd be perfectly suitable for dressmaking. So if you were making your Stevie dress, I know people that follow me like to make the Stevie dress from Tillian buttons. This would work perfectly. I've just ordered myself a couple of 1/2 meters because I like it and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. It was just because. So I got this navy, and then I got, of course, teal because it's one of my favourite colours. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be finding something to make with that. And then the next fabric that I bought all runs in a theme. So look at that building block extravaganza. So that's that one. And then we go for it's kind of brights. And then pastels. So now you're thinking, well, Sam, why do you need so much building block material? Can you see there that I'm not using the word because it is a trademark description of the building blocks, but that is exactly what it is. And we love Lego in our family. We absolutely adore it, and we build all the time. And when the kids were smaller, they're all grown-ups now. When they were smaller, Lego was always the go-to treat, the go-to present, and the go-to kind of fun day. If we were having, if we were having a rainy day in, it always involved Lego. So kind of passing on that, what I've decided to do is for my nieces and nephews and goddaughters, I have decided to make them all Lego building block themed gifts this year. So I will be showing you how that's progressing, because my challenge to myself for July is to have Christmas in July. I always find Christmas a little bit overwhelming because I've not been sewing too many years, but when I have been sewing, I always like to make gifts for people. And obviously trying to make gifts for people and then trying to fill your Etsy shop and trying to fill your commitment to the community shop and trying to kind of make other things for other people all at the same time can get a little bit stressful. So what I thought is, right, July, middle of the year, let's start thinking about Christmas. And my challenge is to make 10 gifts. So I'm going to try and get 10 gifts ticked off my list. They're not all going to be big things. Some of them are going to be smaller things and a couple of bigger projects. But I'm going to try by the end of July to have 10 Christmas makes ticked off my list. So throughout July, I'll kind of keep you updated. I might not show you all of the projects because obviously they're going to be Christmas presents, and sometimes my family sometimes watch me on the telly, which is bizarre, isn't it? But I don't want to give too many things away. So, but that is my challenge for July. So, and I'm going to try and make my tutorials a bit more gifty themed. And that's why the face wipe one is going to come up later today, because I think these make great gifts. Any young girls or older girls, women, mums, aunties, or even my boys actually. They find them very handy. So good gifts. And so I have managed to go under my desk and get all of my Christmas fabrics out. It's been very exciting this week. I've been stroking all my Christmas fabrics. Next week, I'll be showing you some of my favourites. And I've also delved into my old teacher box to find my Christmas templates. And look what I found inside, a little Christmas tree. So the first thing that I'm going to have a go at making is to see if I can make some little fabric gift tags out of Christmas trees, just to kind of get me in the mood, get me in the Christmas mood. So yes, so that is my challenge for July. So that's what I've been up to. So next week, hopefully I'll be on the correct day. Hopefully my blog will come up on Wednesday next week and not Thursday. The reason that it is a day late is because I sat and chatted to you yesterday for a good 20 minutes, but I didn't press record. And that, my friends, is because I am a numpty. And I just forgot. Apparently it happens to us all. My friends kept saying, oh, don't worry, Sam, it happens to us all. It seems to only happen to me, but hey ho, it's fine. So hopefully next week I'll be here on Wednesday and I'll chat to you all. And until then, take care, enjoy the sunshine. Bye for now.